Hi, Puneet. How are you?
I'm good.
All right. So first of all, thank you for joining us at the Battery Show Asia and also the Mobility Tech Asia as our advisory board members and also as our speaker. So I just like to check with you, like, what are your first impressions of the show? Because this is like the inaugural shows for Asia editions. So what do you have to say about it?
Yeah, I'm very excited to be here. I know this is the first time battery show is happening in Asia, but the energy is electric.
Yeah.
I learned there are 250 exhibitors across the whole battery value chain. There are energy storage companies showcasing. The plenary session was amazing. We get to hear from leading companies as battery suppliers, what companies are doing in Europe, how energy storage companies are working, some of the supply chain issues. So it is a very balanced conversation, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. And also it comes from the months of trainings, right? I mean, like as an advisory board members, previously you've been like brainstorming about what to put for the conference and what are the topics that need to be discussed. I mean, like especially it's a pilot editions. So of course, there's a lot of factors that need to be included for the first editions. So what do you think about the show itself? Like, have you spoken to any of the industrial key players that they have some thoughts or comments about the show?
So far I have talked to some of the companies, some of the battery manufacturers. I had conversations, some of the energy storage companies, and based on what they have told me, looks like they have enjoyed the conversation. We are talking about some of the key challenges that are very critical to have a conversation on. What I've seen so far, great networking. I see not only just with me, but many other people. The kind of networking opportunity this platform is providing is excellent, and it is very much needed. Because if you look at Asia, this is the center of gravity for battery industry. And here we have companies from Asia, we have companies from Europe, so representation from US, and we are having a dialogue on not only challenges but also the best practices that the companies across the globe have worked with, and how the other companies, the other side of the world, can adopt those. So this is a great conversation, a great platform to have that conversation. I'm very excited that Battery Show Asia is providing this platform, which is very much needed.
Yeah. I mean, like the industrial key players, right? Of course, you've been to many events globally. So what do you think something unique about the show for both the Battery Show Asia and the Mobility Tech Asia?
Yes, so what this show is bringing, which is very unique and also very powerful, is looking at batteries not just as part of electric vehicles. We are having conversation about batteries, on what is needed for electric vehicles, mobility. We are talking about batteries for energy storage application. We are talking about batteries from sustainability perspective. So all of that dimensions of conversations make it a lot more holistic rather than talking about batteries only for a given application.
Yeah, and to echo on that, since you mentioned about the battery innovations, right? Perhaps you can share with our audience what are the highlights or the, what do you call it? Some of the innovations that you are excited to look for it.
Yes, so I am very excited to spend a lot of time on the expo floor. For example, CATL, they have a big booth. I've talked to CATL team. They are talking about their Choco sweep, so how they can swap the battery out. It's an interesting thing that they are doing. I would love to learn more about it and some of the challenges that they have to address, how the battery larger ecosystem can adopt those kind of swapping technologies. There are companies I saw that are talking about new machine builders. So it's not just about battery manufacturing, but also, hey, machine builders are a key part of the equation, how those machine builders are bringing more efficient machine, more precision in their in their operation. So I'm very excited to learn more about what kind of innovation they are bringing that the battery ecosystem can benefit from.
Thank you, Puneet. And maybe this is second last questions. What do you think the biggest challenge in the battery manufacturing or scale up? And if you may advise, how to overcome it in your perspective?
Yes, so battery manufacturing is definitely very challenging. And the way I look at it, there are two big issues. One is scrap rate. So a lot of companies who are starting the battery manufacturing, especially who are scaling up battery manufacturing, they many times deal with very high scrap rate, 40% or more. That means 40% of the electrodes that they are coating, they go to waste. But even the companies who are doing battery manufacturing for many years, many of them are dealing with 10% or higher scrap rate, which is still very high when you look at the scale. The other problem also is when companies are looking to scale up their production, and it's not just going from pilot scale to gigafactory, but also a lot of companies are looking to scale up their operation in multiple countries so that they can be close to supply chain and different regions and what opportunities they offer. But in order to do that, they are also struggling how to scale up their operation. And there the challenges of workforce comes in, then different regulations, how you take the experience from your, let's say, headquarters to another country. So these are the challenges which are critical to address, that will help the battery industry to scale globally. And from my point of view, to address these issues, battery companies or battery ecosystem has to look at marrying their experience and knowledge of battery manufacturing, but with the power of data and power of digital twin and automation technologies. So those are the things when not only they can rely on the experience and understanding, but also what data is telling them, how they can collect the right data from the factory floor, how can they utilize the data to find the problems and then address those issues early so that they don't have to deal with that high scrap rate, or they can improve their throughput of production. Those are the things that are critical, and more and more as I talk to these companies, a lot of companies are looking to move in that direction.
Yeah, I think with all of the challenges, it's something that maybe making all the startup, especially like they scared to actually invest because of like the uncertainty of the future and also because of the cost, right? So if you may advise, what would you say to all of the startup who wants to get involved with the battery ecosystem? What are probably like some of the best advices, the best practices?
You see, I mean, startups is always challenging. Right? No matter which field you are, it's a challenging world. And like in any other industry, is the valley of death, where you start, you come up with the technology that is promising, but when you look to scale that technology, that's where a lot of startups are struggling. And battery industry is no different. That's where, if you look today, a lot of startups are struggling because of that, how they can scale up. Right? And that is a function of raising a lot of money. It's a battery production is an expensive, capital-intensive process. How you raise that money, but also you need to de-risk those investments. How they can be more and they need to do that. They need to be more focused. They need to optimize their production or some of the operation before they scale up in other direction, because it's not easy. So having the right focus, but also a path for how they can de-risk those investments, because it's going to take a lot of investment. It is very critical in having those milestones. So I talk to a lot of startups. So despite struggles recently with some of the startups have struggled, unfortunately have had to stop their operation. When I talk to the startup ecosystem, many companies, I see a lot of excitement and promise. They know that this is challenging, but that's what startups are built for, to take those challenges on and reshape the industry. So I'm very excited to see how startups are going to bring those disruptions. And there are many startups across the globe, in US, Europe, in Asia Pacific, who are truly looking to disrupt battery industry.
Okay. And maybe for last question, if you may, can you just describe the show in one sentence?
absolutely needed. And it's happening at the right place at the right time.
Yeah. And with that, thank you so much, Puneet. It's nice having you here.
Thank you. Appreciate
Thank you.
that.